Mhm. Hi, my name is Cora J. Welcome back to my channel. How do I how do I put this? I no longer live in Florida, y'all. I am a Floridian born and raised, and up until recently, I never really even ventured outside of Florida at my young age of 22. I am now in Washington State. Yes, not only did I travel across the country over here, but I drove. Not plane, not train, I drove. The experience, the adventure was beautiful as hell, and I honestly would recommend it to anybody. Anybody that likes nature, anybody that's patient and get at organizing themselves. I wouldn't recommend it. It was beautiful and I wouldn't have it any other way. And I honestly would do it again. In this video, I just want to talk about my adventure traveling between Florida and Washington. And I want to share a lot of the videos and photos that I took along the way because I don't know about y'all, but coming from Florida where everything, the land is flat, the geography is flat, seeing other states and how the road and the earth does this like a fucking cosine graph. I'm like, bro, I've been missing out on a lot. So I just want to share it here as a way of let's just storytelling in a way, and also preserving that moment somewhere on the internet so I can go back and look at these videos when I do eventually run out of space on my phone. I got me some notes just so I can talk about the things that, just so I can touch on the points that I really want to touch on. Of course, we started in home sweet home, Florida. I never revealed this because, of course, I lived there. And hold on, let me get my fucking life together. Notes sliding off my lap. I lived in a cute small town in South Florida called Hollandale or Hollandale Beach. I'd really be surprised when people tell me that they know what Hollandale is or where Hollandale is, because it's between more major cities like Hollywood and Miami. Of course, you're gonna miss sweet old Hollandale. She's cute, she's small, she's petite, and I really can't say she's demure because I don't know. There really wasn't much to complain about living in Florida. I did feel the. I'm gonna cut to the chase. Hollandale was getting gentrified. Every other month living there, I seen portions of my childhood being stripped away for families that were better off. And a community was being built that wasn't necessarily for the black community that was there already, and it broke my heart day by day. And I was going to do a video on that before I left, before I even knew I was going to leave, but then I decided, my boyfriend and I decided to move, and of course I didn't have time to do what I wanted to, and I was gonna go around the neighborhood asking, the old heads and shit, like how do they feel about the community, the city changing so vastly, and how, well, like what's their experience with it, or and blah blah blah. But you know, it's like, yeah, I guess that's just the one that got away type of thing. But I don't want to dwell on Florida too much because I was there for 20 fucking 2 years, girl. Like, come on, let's move on. Florida is Florida. She's hot. She got the beaches. She's beautiful, and you will always appreciate Florida. The day that I left, my parents took me to Publix, which is one thing. I think that's one thing I will forever miss while I'm up here. Like, even the first day I got here, I'm mourning Publix, girl. I miss her bad. They bought us a few snacks, water, some food to go, and we departed in the parking lot of the Publix, and that was the last time I seen my parents and my youngest brother in real life since I left. From there, we went west to Fort Myers near like the Everglades and stuff to see one of my friends. That was really cool. I seen a fucking wild rabbit. From there, we made our way more up north. By this time, we're losing daylight, and we really should have hit the road more up north a lot sooner than we did. But I was just like, I just felt like it was going to be worth it to stop by my friend real quick, and it was. We made it up north, and of course, just feels like Florida, except more up north. It's more country because I live on a city, the beach side, you know what I'm saying? And for the first night, we spent the night in Ocala. The beginning of the trip felt very freeing. It felt spontaneous and it felt adventurous, and I had no remorse for giving my parents 1 week a 1 week notice before I dipped out that bitch. Okay, my mom got 2 weeks. Let's be honest. She got the longest amount of time to like settle with it, but everybody else got a week or less, and I didn't feel bad about it at all, especially starting out, and I still don't, because I have to put me first. I have to put me first. After spending the night on Ocala, we were done with Florida. And then we moved on to Alabama. We're in Alabama! We're in Alabama! 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 Yeah, Alabama! Hey! Give me some peach cobbler, man! We on Alabama! What? We went through the panhandle and entered into Alabama. That was very exciting, seeing the welcome to Alabama sign. But we didn't even really spend that much time there. The only difference that I felt between countryside Florida and Alabama was the single piece of fucking cotton on the side of the road, just to remind you bitches where the fuck you at. And I was like, okay, let's dip. I don't know, it's just something about Alabama. It just feels very unnerving, like I don't belong there. I didn't feel safe there, but good thing we only spent a few hours there, probably not even. So, Alabama, done with. Next was Mississippi, and she was a breeze as well. Really, the only thing I remember about Mississippi is there was a portion where the billboards on the side of the road were so fucking tall. And I'm like, why the fuck are y'all all the way up there? And there was a point where the sun looked so heavenly in the sky. She was gigantic in the sky, and she was white and bright, and it was a sign of hope and a sign of reassurance that everything's gonna be okay and you're on the right track, girl. And it was just everything to me, and she was beautiful. That's Mississippi, and we're done with that. Then we got to Louisiana, and at this point my boyfriend's driving most of the way. I think the first day, actually, he drove the first fucking 10 hours. And then he gave in. He was like, you know what, Cora? Let me let you help me. You can drive the last 2 hours. So we hit Louisiana for a gas break, got some food, water, whatever, and then he let me drive. Louisiana was our first time zone setback and the last stop before our last stop for that day, which was Houston. I thought that general area of the South was going to have Publix, so I thought we were good. We're going to hit Louisiana, go to Publix, and it will be set for the night. No, because when we checked in Louisiana, the closest Publix at that point was 14 hours away in North Carolina. My heart was broken. Oh my gosh, y'all, I was so heartbroken. I had a pub sub for the last time and I didn't even know it, because we had planned to get some more Publix on the way. I just didn't know that Louisiana didn't have fucking Publix. That's so ghetto. What the fuck? Louisiana was also pretty. She gave more swampy. We passed by a lot of bayous, which I'm pretty sure I've never seen a bayou specifically in real life, but it was beautiful, and it very much did give Princess and the Frog. Ooh, my leg is losing blood circulation. My favorite thing about stopping in Louisiana was their fucking accents, because I've only heard it on like the internet. Everybody, even the kids, need a cold drink, y'all. Fuck, bro. I'm thinking about it. I regret not just being straightforward and pulling somebody to the side and just asking them to talk to me because I like the accent, you know. But I did catch somebody on the phone. She was like, "Yeah, I got some toilet paper." And I'm laughing because I know I sound shit, but that shit just sounded magical to me. Like, and we're in a different world simply because of that accent. Even the kids, y'all have to believe me. That shit was magical, and I loved it. Thank you, Louisiana. You have a special place in my heart, and I hope that my next road trip is to New Orleans, and I'm able to embrace y'all on a deeper level. But that's done with New Orleans. Did I say Louisiana? Whatever. Louisiana, done. Texas felt very clean. She felt very patriotic in a 9 to 5 type of way. I really don't know how to explain it better than that. The traffic early in the morning reminded me very much of home, but it was a different essence because they're not as like sunshiny as Florida. It was a little bit gloomy. And something that I liked about Texas, which is very odd, the roads aren't all just gray and black. Some of the roads were brown, and I don't know. I feel like they ate with that, because a brown road, yeah, give that to me. I want that. She felt like the largest state that we drove through, the longest state, the longest amount of time that we spent in the states. But she was also the most moving. Once we passed all the traffic in the city area and we started hitting more of like the country roads on the interstate, um I seen my first mountains. And when I tell you, I feel like it was especially powerful because I'm coming from a place where all my life the ground is flat. Like, I shit y'all not, like, if you've never been to Florida, you don't understand how flat she is. And we appreciate all the cups. You can be an A cup, B cup, D cup, F cup. We appreciate them all. But y'all, seeing the fucking mountains was very moving to me. And let me try to explain it to you all. Passing between fucking mountains, which I don't want nobody in here talking about oh, those not mountains, those are hills. Let me fucking enjoy the geography of this beautiful earth. Okay? God forbid a black girl enjoy geography. Okay? So I don't even want to hear it. Plus, the signs on the road said Texas Mountain Trail. I don't want to hear it because somebody got my comments on TikTok with that slick shit talking about those are hills. Fuck you. Fuck your mama. Fuck your family. Fuck your dog. Don't piss me off. I'm trying to have a good time, please. Anyway. I've been trying to explain to y'all how these mountains was making me feel. They made me feel so small, not only on a physical aspect. They made me reflect about my whole life. I look back at general grand moments and events of my life, and collectively, it's not it's not all Jolly Roger. Like, I have been like really anxious and depressed like my whole life. The whole front half of my life, I feel like I wasn't even in my body. Like, I was dissociated. Like, I went through some trauma and that caused me to not even be in my body up until I started smoking in like college. And that's when I feel like my brain woke up. You know, it's very trippy, very weird. Like, I feel like you really don't understand how that feels unless it's happened to you. But I struggled a lot trying to, you know, live with, work with, and heal my anxieties, my depressions, my self doubt, my lack of self love, and yada yada yada. At that point, and all my traumas, all this good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, my life has been really hard on a more emotional, mental level for the past few years since I feel like my mind opened up. But and sometimes it's hard to appreciate life and feel like it's worth being here. But looking at the fucking mountains, I'm like, of course, of course, life is worth living. Of course, I can be resilient. Of course, you know, my problems and the issues are important, but of course, they're worth working it out. Of course, they're worth the patience and the time it takes to get to a better point because, bitch, there's mountains out here. There's mountains, and you didn't even see the fucking mountains yet, so why would you ever think of giving up and you didn't even see mountains yet? Like, what? um oh, actually, I remember journaling about this, and let me go get my journal real quick. I want to read y'all the exact journal entry that I wrote in the car right then and there while I was feeling the feelings that I was feeling and emotions that I was in emotion in. Thank you. Hold on. Ooh. By the way, side note, I got a new journal. I don't know if I showed y'all. I definitely showed on TikTok. I finished my first journal ever, front to back. Pages written, all the pages are written in, and I feel very accomplished for that. And I went ahead and got me another notebook. Ashe, ashe. Hopefully y'all can't hear the boys passing by. They're kind of talking loud. I was gonna wave at them because I seen them looking up here, but then they started minding their business, as they should. But this was April 3rd, 2025, and I titled this GTA, but IRL, because that's what it felt like, y'all. I said, hi. I've only ever seen mountains and hills in video games until today. Evans and I are on day 3 of our road trip to Washington. We are on our way to El Paso, Texas, after spending the night in Houston. I've seen Earth's terrain transform dramatically and beautifully as we ride I-10, and just a few moments ago, I seen rocky cliffs and many mountains for the first time. The grass is drier here, the trees are shorter, and I keep seeing clusters of cacti on the side of the road. It immediately reminded me of GTA 5, how the walls of the rock towered over the interstate and we drove down a 9-degree incline. I'm so overflown with joy, gratitude, and the grandness. I hope that's a word. I googled it. I'm pretty sure it's a word. In the grandness of this land, and I couldn't help but cry. I sat in the passenger seat thinking how I spent most of my life so far navigating anger, depression, neglect, and now I feel wasteful. I'll never regret allowing myself to take time. Hold on, let me start over. I'll never regret allowing myself to take time, but facing these towers of earth that's older than I may imagine, detachment, forgiveness, and grace are much more simpler concepts to submit to. These Texas mountains have made my whole life worth living. Literally, girl. They were very powerful, very moving, and I appreciate Texas for that. Thank you, Texas, for breaking my mountain virginity. Texas, again, she was big mama. She was vast. She was beautiful. And honestly, when we started hitting the desert, it was kind of exciting because I'd never seen the desert before. It very quickly stopped being exciting Cause then we started driving through all miles and miles and hours and hours and hours and hours of fucking desert through the next 2 states. That's Texas, done. And then we hit New Mexico. New Mexico blended seamlessly into Texas. Like you wouldn't even have been able to tell that you switched state lines because it's just desert and more desert. It was cute at first. It was fun games at first, you know, looking for like the road runners and the tumbleweed and the dust storms and the mini twisters, which we did see a mini little tornado, which I didn't catch it on camera because you're going like what 80 miles per hour on an interstate. Come on, like oh, and in Texas, we seen a natural fire. Side note, real quick, let me tell y'all real quick. So we're riding up on the little fire on the side of the road, right? And we see smoke. And even though the smoke is white and not black, we're like, oh, it probably was like an accident because, you know, this is interstate, whatever. This is an interstate with a bunch of trucks. We already passed by like a dozens of fucking accidents. You know what I'm saying? So we're thinking maybe it's a I hope that's not a mosquito. Washington, you're not supposed to have mosquitoes, by the way. I hope you know that. We're pulling up on the fire, and we're like, in our heads, we're thinking it's an accident. We make a little jokey joke, which RIP to any lives lost in the California fires. But we made a little joke like, oh, it's already looking like we got to California. Ha ha ha. You know what I'm saying? Fucking fire on the side of the road. We didn't think it was actual wildfire on the side of the road. So we're pulling up. It was really small too, but you could see it. Like it would probably be as tall as me. I'm 5'6". We're coming up over the hill. The smoke it leads to the fire at the base of the cliff, and my boyfriend and I are looking at each other like, "Oh my god, we was just joking. What the fuck? Why is there fire?" And again, we were in the desert, so I'm like, "What the fuck did the like? What's on fire? What is on fire?" You know what I'm saying? Like the rock? I don't know. It's just it must have been like some dried up grass, some bushes or something, but I shit you not, it didn't look like anything was right there. Maybe the fire had just engulfed it. All I seen was rock and sand. Okay? That shit was crazy. And I wish I got on camera, just like the Twister. But back to New Mexico. Yeah, it was fun in games trying to play a little Where's Waldo game in the desert, but then we was there for a long time, y'all. So that's Texas, then New Mexico, and then that was Arizona. 3 states straight of desert, about 13 hours of driving in just sand, no vegetation. All the trees and bushes are naked. Just dry ass mountains in the distance is extra windy. You going fast as fuck. The road is just straight. Straight for 13, 14 hours straight, y'all. That shit got boring really fast. You see, like I'm a Florida girl. Everything is green in Florida. Like it was no green in the desert. So I don't know. I feel like that was just very overwhelming. New Mexico, thank you, but no, thank you. And then of course, like I said, next was Arizona. Arizona was generally the same story. But you know, something's different about Arizona. She made it all worthwhile when the sun started fucking setting. That had to be the most beautiful sunset I've ever seen in my life. And the mountains were paid actors. I will put money on it. Oh my god. Life is beautiful. So we enjoyed the sunset. And this night, I'm pretty sure we were on our way to California. I think this was the fourth day of the trip. We were headed to, I think, Palm Springs, California, to call it a night. So Arizona, thank you, thank you, thank you. I forgive y'all for tormenting me with all that fucking desert. Thank you. And the next was California.
And then you waste your whole day hanging out with a fucking stranger that might be a piece of shit. If you want to hang out with other tourists on vacation,
I'm not gonna lie, it was the end of the day when we first hit California. And como se dice, California was fucking scary, bitch. The area that we were at, they did not have that many like street lights. First off, I learned my lesson regarding reserving your hotel room, because the whole trip up to this point, I wasn't reserving the hotel rooms because we don't know when we're going to get there. So we just looking at, this place fits the budget. They have a pretty decent rating. They don't have a deposit for dogs, or they have a cheaper deposit for the dogs, and yada yada yada. The whole trip was basically very spontaneous, y'all. It's like midnight when we finally hit the city that we planned to spend the night in. And it was a raggedy ass hotel, but it's what fit the criteria. But when we pulled up, they said they didn't have any spots open. So we had to drive about another 20 minutes to another place, not a hotel, a motel, the first motel of the trip. And this is when I truly understood the difference between the two. The motel was a little bit ghetto. Grateful to find a place to spend the night at for the night, but it was dark over there. And in front of our motel door was a mountain. No street lights on that mountain. It just looks like fucking black, black, black. I'm like, I need to take my ass inside. Let's hurry up and find something to eat. And let me hurry up and go to sleep so I can feel like I just time jumped. Because I can't do it right now. We just came out of the fucking desert. Now it's pitch black. Our first night in California just felt very trippy. And I was done. I wanted to go to sleep. So that's exactly what we did. But maybe I was a little bit dramatic because the next morning was very forgiving as well. The mountains in front of the motel were very beautiful. You could see at the top of the mountains there were like nicer houses up there. I'm sure they look off their balcony onto the motels and hotels and shit, and they just be grateful for their lives. The palm trees in California reminded me of home, even though I feel like they're very much taller than Florida's palm trees. Two things I noticed once we hit California: you gotta pay for the fucking grocery bags. The bags are 10 cents each. That's how I knew we reached a blue state. They're thicker, they're higher quality, so that was honestly a pleasant surprise. I'm not mad at them for charging, a dime for a bag. Also, hitting California is where I realized why the fuck my skin wouldn't stay moisturized for longer than an hour, even though I got the water and then I put the lotion on and then I put the Vaseline. Nothing. Dry. 1 hour max that you got moisturized skin. The fucking humidity is dry as fuck. It's dry as fuck over there. And I don't know why it took me so long to peep that. But I shit you not, I was constantly putting on lotion since we hit maybe New Mexico, Arizona, and it just clicked to me when we hit Cali. And I was like, fuck you, Cali. Fuck you. Trying to trigger my eczema. Nobody ain't tell me shit. It's okay. We talked it over. We figured it was nothing to beef over. It was more beauty in California. like this garden that we stopped by. I don't remember the exact name of it, but it was like the Greystone Garden in Beverly Hills. It's like an old mansion that is open to the public. It's free. She's very beautiful. And even though we didn't even get to see everything, the parts that we did see, mwah, I would visit again. And I recommend it to y'all to go visit Greystone Garden, Mansion Garden, whatever it's called. So at this point, we're in like South Cali, I believe, and we're making our way more up north to visit my brother, who was visiting his girlfriend, because I didn't get to say bye to my brother when we left home. He was in California visiting his girlfriend, so he was like, let's curate the route so that we don't have to spend that much more time on the road, but let's go see my brother as well, you know? Who knows when's the next time I'm gonna see him. And also, this was the first time that I met his girlfriend. She was very sweet. Her family was very giving. Like, I understand why my brother likes to be at her house all the time. Like, he'll spend a month home and then go spend 3 months at her house. But I understand it because they're so sweet. They're giving. The energy is positive. Like, they're very homey and family oriented. Like, very much a breath of fresh air coming from my constant experiences of just bad social interactions with people. Like, it's really the bare minimum to just stick out your hand and just be like, let me help you with this, or like, what do you need? You know what I'm saying? But it was very refreshing to see that. And I'm just grateful. And they let us stay the night. So they saved us like $200 that night. And then the next morning, they cooked us breakfast. And they had some good ass sausage, y'all. I didn't really know that you can basically put whatever you wanted in sausage, but they had these sausages with pineapple pieces in it, and it was really good. My brother's girlfriend, she sent me off with this Mexican fruit called a jicama. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And honestly, it's like a sweet lettuce. It doesn't look like lettuce at all. It's like a root. Like, you would probably think it's a turnip or something. After we ate, my brother tried to keep us there for a pretty long time, but I was like, man, we gotta hit the road because we got 12 hours of driving ahead of us. And I will talk to you later. You know, it won't be the last time that we see. So he eventually let us depart, and we was on our way to the next state, Oregon. Leaving my brother's girlfriend's house, I started driving, and I was supposed to drive about 3 hours to the next major city to get gas and stuff like that. Girl, I made it less than an hour. I'm like, I'm not gonna let myself get to that point. I cannot drive, and I would not allow myself to drive. Boyfriend, take the wheel. I didn't even realize how tired I was, but it makes sense because the prior night we were having drinks and we stayed up very late getting to know, you know, my brother's girlfriend and her family, and catching up with my brother because I hadn't seen him in like 3 months. And then I took the fattest nap ever in that car, y'all. I took like a 2-hour nap, and I woke up in Oregon. And the mountains in Oregon do not even compare to the ones in Texas. I remember fresh out my nap, the mountains were so fucking tall, and off in the distance you can see snow on the mountains, and they had rushing rivers and lakes, and everything was so fucking beautiful. Like, it was the type of road that you listen to. What's that girl's name? Aurora. She got that song. And I was waiting for you. Nobody knows. That's why she made that song for Oregon. So I'm a little bit discombobulated at this point and just processing the beauty of Earth once again. Because what the fuck? She eats every time. And I guess my boyfriend's seen some signs of like a rest stop or whatever, so he's pulling up. And I've probably only been up for like 30 minutes at this point. He pulls into this rest stop, and there's a field of fucking cows, y'all. I had to go talk to the cows. I had to go talk to the cows, y'all. And the grass was so lush and tall and soft. Like, you can roll in that grass and you would not get itchy. Florida doesn't have real grass. That's a fun fact for you all. I learned this in high school from a marine science teacher. Florida does not have grass. They have something called St. Augustine grass, and it's actually a weed, and that's why it's itchy. Real grass does not make you itchy. I definitely had to take that opportunity to sit in some real grass. I left one of my stickers on the post because one of the light posts had a bunch of stickers, and I was like, I got something that fits here. And I don't know if y'all know this, but I do sell stickers on Etsy, and you can check me out if you want to go support me. I got goals, okay? It's fucking hard out here, okay? I'm just a girl with dreams. Please go support me. We hit the road between the mountains once again, carrying on through Oregon. When it became more of like evening, it started to rain heavier than we had seen since we left Florida, which made driving a lot more scary, especially on the fucking 9 and 6 degree inclines. What the fuck? Like, I'm telling you, we're driving and it looks like we're driving on a fucking roller coaster. It's not only like you're going down, but you're also like curving around like the mountains and shit like that. That joint was scary, but it was also mystical. It was a special experience. How I would leave it there. A special experience. The whole trip we're going well above the speed limit because we're just going straight. For the mountains, I couldn't. And the people that were used to the mountains, even the fucking 16-wheelers, they was comfortable and they were going well above the speed limit. So it's like times I feel most comfortable on the left side of the road. At times I was like, let me get my ass on the right side of the road because I don't belong here. Luckily though, the cars, after leaving like Florida, the driving etiquette throughout the states are like they're more polite. They're more mindful, they're more polite. They're not just gonna honk at you for going a little bit slow, they're just gonna go around you. Florida, you're gonna get bullied. And then you might have to go to the side of the road and cry a little bit. The other states had a little bit more decorum with that. Another thing about Oregon, the trees are so fucking tall. The average tree that you might run into in Florida, you can climb that shit and you'll be fine. You would never see me on top of any of these trees here. Go get somebody else to do it. Anyways, that's Oregon at nighttime. We hit Washington. Honestly, it wasn't really much to see because it was very rainy and it was dark. Like, even crossing over the borderline, in my camera you couldn't really see the sign. I'll try to find a photo on Google or something so you can see what we were supposed to be seeing, but you couldn't see it. And honestly, I was just over it. I was tired. I'm like, we here in Washington, like there's no use getting upset about something small like this. Like, whatever, you get the point. We're in Washington. At this point, I was just like, I've got enough footage. I'm just gonna put my phone down and enjoy the rest of the ride, because it's not like you could have even seen anything anyways. I believe for the rest of the ride I was in and out of sleep, and we reached our destination around midnight. Everything was so new and exciting. Even the desert, I was talking a lot of shit. Just, I wouldn't want to drive in the desert for that long again. But yeah, I'm very proud of myself. Sometimes I forget to be proud of myself because, you know, habits, I guess, or negative cycles. I don't know. I'm trying to get better at it. How many people do you fucking know that drove across the country for a better life? You know what I'm saying? Just to explore yourself and to find better versions of yourself and explore your independence and yada yada yada. How many people do you know did that? I would do it again. My boyfriend wouldn't. He did most of the driving. But I would do it again. Moral of the story, this gator has left the nest, and I have entered a new realm in the Pacific Northwest. With that being said, I feel complete, y'all. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, girl. Don't play with me. Talk to me in the comments. If you're not subscribed by now, if this is your first video, okay, I give you that. But if this is your second or third video of watching my channel, what the fuck is going on? Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate y'all. And I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Peace. Bye. I gotta pick up the sticky notes. Okay, this one's Texas. This one's Florida. Mississippi is 3. New Mexico 6. Louisiana 4. Arizona 7. Oh, I'm missing one. Where's number 2? Where's Alabama? I knew it was something about that Alabama, bro. I knew it was something. Oh, there's something about Alabama. It just doesn't sit right with me.